Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon on our super hardcore series. I'm just going to start this bad boy back up again, and what we're going to do is we are going to get these 4 logs that got stuck against the wall right here up to the mill up there. At least that's the plan. Now, in theory, I should be able to go over to here, and I press O, and that moves the trailer hitch up there. I don't know if there's any particular advantage of doing that whilst using it, or if that is just a roleplay type thing. I don't really know. But no, what I want to do is I want to put the chain on there, and a chain on there, and a chain on there, and a chain on there. And then I want to press Z like that, and I want to move these over a bit. We want to haul that chain all the way in. There, that's as far as I'm going to move it. I don't really like to move it any further than that, because it doesn't flow, it doesn't sort of move very easily. I know in real life you are supposed to. You would actually move it a bit more than that, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring those logs over to there, and then I'm going to press X, which allows the rope to move. We'll go like that, and then we'll go up around here. So, my weekly question for this week, for those of you that have not yet seen it, we have in our placeables down here, this is the universal sell point. We've got the 150% one there, which will take the whatever setting we're on and adjust the prices by an additional 50%. Or we've got the standard selling point right there. And a lot of people suggested when I showed this to you last week that if I'm going to spend $100,000 on building some structures around the sell point, which was the original plan, I wanted to spend $100,000 on setting up the sell point, and what we're doing is we're building storage. And therefore, the person who is coming up and transporting it away, the merchant, he's not going to be taking things away when there's a poor market for it, is he? He's going to leave it there in storage, and he's going to come and get it when the best price is available. Best price for him, because he gets a good markup, and the best price for us, his customer. It's in his best interest to get the best price he possibly can for both of us, because then we're happy, we go back to him, and so on and so forth. So what I decided was that we would alter it ever so slightly. I'm going to give you the choice. I will either buy the Universal Selling Station for $10,000, exactly as it is right there. Alright, so it'll still cost us 10 grand. Obviously, if you really don't like this idea, then get in the comment section and talk about it. But a lot of comments coming back that they thought that the 100,000 was a little bit too much. So 10,000 for the selling station exactly as it is. And all we'll do is we'll say we'll only sell things 1 trailer load at a time, or 1 large pallet at a time, that sort of thing. Or we can use this one here, and we will spend $100,000 on it. So we invest in all of the suitable storage units that need to go around it, and that way we get the higher prices. So do you want me to spend $10,000 on a standard universal selling station, or do you want me to spend $100,000 and get the upgraded version with the better prices? It's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. So, we've got those logs out a little bit, just around the corner. I will haul that in like that, there, and then we will lift that one up, and we head up the hill. So we've got these 4 logs right here. I do have a plan, although our, the thing that we're going to buy at the moment is going to set us back $36,000. Right, so we've now got the 36,000 that we need in order to be able to buy this bad boy that we're after. But I wanted a little bit more money. So there we've got those as 3,297. And the thing that I was after that I wanted to go with what we've got was this one down here Oh, I didn't realize it was that much. I know the base game one there is only 5 grand. And I thought maybe we could pick that one up. We're not going to be able to afford to buy that one with what we've sold. This one is 58,000. This one is much, much better as a stump grinder, in my opinion, than the base game one. This one works a lot better. So I'd rather get this one. The only stipulation with buying the Bruks all-in-one is we will not be using it to cut down trees. I may not use it to cut trees, to shred trees, to chip them up. But that is going to be down to you, so I certainly wouldn't be doing that today. But we don't have the money to buy that one at the moment anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to drive this one back home a minute. Going to race down through here. I get a little bit of lag when I come out over that hill for some strange reason. I don't quite know why. We're going to go back to our house. I'm just wondering if I should pick... no, I'm not going to. Every time I go past, I wonder if I should pick that one up. But you don't get a great deal of money for it, so I won't at the moment. Now, what do we do? How do we do this? I'm going to... Well, actually, first of all, I'm going to take these back, and we're going to unhitch them back at the yard. And then once we've unhitched them, we'll unhitch the bit on the back and the front loader as well. Once we've unhitched them, we need to head over to the dealership. Once we do eventually get our stump grinder, the first thing that we'll be doing is cutting down that tree in the middle of the road and removing the stump for it as well. The only reason I haven't done it yet is because I don't want to accidentally drive over the stump and flip the tractor upside down, because you know I will. Right? You know I will. That is just the sort of thing that I would go and do. Oh no, I'm pressing B. I don't want to. I want to do that. Right, so we'll put that one there and lower that bad boy down like that and unhitch. There we go. Perfect. And then we will leave the attachment here right beside it. I'm going to get a front weight, I think. So we now have a decent log drag. So we've got that one, a winch right there that we can use. That is a really, really good winch that we can use. We've got the crane over there that we will be using for various different tasks. We've got the Mahindra for scouting around the farm when we need to. We've got the small classic tractor that we would be using. I don't know any farmer personally that would ever consider selling their small classic tractor. So we're not going to either. This is just something you keep for nostalgia's sake, if nothing else. Possibly they'd sell the Mahindra because that, you know, as it becomes less useful, it would be something that you'd consider getting rid of. But I don't really want to get rid of it because it is kind of useful for a few different things. And I'm hoping against hope that one day we will get the right mod that will allow us to load that one up by hand with wood chips. Also, I'm hoping that we do eventually get the sawdust mod back as well. That one would be quite cool to get back. So we're going to drive off to the shop, and we're going to go and get the auto-load logging trailer. As soon as we get back, we're going to cut down another big chunk of trees. Right? That's what we're going to be doing today, is we're going to cut down more trees. Now, I realised that the standard stump grinder being 5 grand and the perfect Bruks one at 58 grand, that's a fair difference in price. So I may very well go back over here and get the standard stump grinder and bring that one back instead of getting the Bruks one. Just because it's so much cheaper, and yes, it'd probably be a little bit slower taking out the stump. The Bruks one certainly does seem to be a lot faster, but we're going to need to get rid of them. We are going to need to get rid of those tree stumps before we can start doing the mowing. And you all said last week that you want me to do silage. It was about 1/3 versus 2/3 of you for silage over sheep. Once we've done silage, or a couple rounds of silage, and we've got a little bit more money, possibly, you know, we'll top that up with a bit more timber using our auto-load trailer. We will then get some sheep. We'll get a pen of sheep placed down, and we will see about buying some sheep The only thing that we don't have on his map is an animal dealership, which means that we can't go and physically collect the sheep. We've got to have them ordered, and then they'll be delivered, which does kind of make sense. We're in a very remote area, so you wouldn't just be trotting off and buying a sheep. It would make more sense that the sheep would be delivered. You'd order up a trailer load of sheep, and then the delivery bloke would turn up, and that would naturally incur charges. So I quite like the idea that we are going to have to do that. We don't have any other option for it. Very concerned about our rickety old bridge that we got here, and I'm fairly certain at some point that rickety old bridge is going to give up on us. Hopefully it won't be today. Yeah, we got a big old trailer that we're bringing back, aren't we? I can't afford the upgrade on this tractor yet, which is something else that I was thinking of. When and how, well, when are we going to upgrade the tractor to the 150 horsepower? We're going to struggle to move that trailer. I mean, obviously, eventually, I'd like to buy a tree harvester. But we can't lease it, and a tree harvester is about $350,000, which is a wee bit out of our price range right now, which means that we wouldn't be doing it anytime soon. And if we were going to be getting it, it's going to be down the line after we've bought sheep and probably chickens as well. Although we can't go buying sheep, and we can buy sheep early on, but we can't buy pigs, chickens, or cows until after we're producing our own arable crops, which means that we're going to need at least $150,000 investment in machinery so that we can operate a combine, because the cattle, I mean, the cattle not quite so much, but they do still need straw, don't they? They need bedding. You can't have the cattle without any bedding. That's just not right. So we definitely need to be able to have bedding for the cattle, and one of the rules that I stated at the beginning is that we are not allowed to buy any feed for our animals. There is no feed available to buy, is what we must assume. Regardless of whether it says there's feed available here, right, this is not an option. We are not allowed to buy any feed for our animals at any point. We're also not allowed to buy the big bag food here for our animals at any point. That's just not an option for us. We can buy these bags if we want to, or these bags over here. I would actually prefer to buy these bags because they go with the hook that we've got, which I thought would be quite cool. The only downside to these bags is you can't pull up alongside them and just press R and have them load over into your whatever machine you're using. But yeah, we don't need to worry about that at the moment. So anyway, let's go into forestry equipment a minute and buy our autoload version 1.1 right there. There should be a link in the description down below for this particular trailer. The only downside to it is we're having to use it with a dolly, which means that the controls for it don't show up as well. I had issues with this previously. It does still work. The only thing that you can't see on it is, so we're going to go with wide tires on there, and I'm going to buy that one as well. Yes. 4,200. We're short by $800 to go and also buy the standard stump grinder. That is actually a little bit frustrating because we're here now. We could have just picked that one up. Right, we could have bought that $5,000 and yeah, we could have stuck that on the front of our tractor and we'd been away. We'd have been fine with that. Right, well, we can't. There's no point wasting time on shoulda, woulda, couldas. What we will do instead is we will buy a suitable front weight. What are we going to have as suitable front weight? We've got fent weights there. I don't want a fent weight. Kind of like the idea of having the good old barrel, except that the barrel does tend to go quite low. That's a rear weight, although I think you can use them on the front as well, and they are pretty good. See, they're wide, and that one's definitely more of a back. So there's a 1250 right there. I like the idea of the barrel. I do like the idea of the barrel, but the barrel tended to be quite low on the front, which is the bit that I didn't like about it. I've got... There's another Fendt. They've all got Fendt printed on the front. We go for an Agco one, but 2 ton is a bit much. I think an 1100 kilo Agco weight would be about right for this tractor. Keep those wheels on the front down. Yeah, we'll go with that one, I think. That one right there. That's a fair old weight, that is. But we could be, you know, we also will be wanting to put that on the back. We'll probably be wanting to put that on the back with the front loader as well. So we need something that's going to counterbalance. Actually, that's making me think that if we're going to be using it a fair bit on the back as well, 1,200 kilo weight like that, that might be just the ticket. Let's go with that one right there, $890. No, we're not going to be spending frivolous amounts of money on getting coats of paint, because we can't afford things like that. We are making every penny count. So, we've got... Let me go and grab that weight. Now, it's... I'm hoping it's not limited to rear weight only. It is technically better for a rear weight, although, like, looking at that, it's got, like, a wheel guard. I like the look of this weight. It does work on the front. There. Oh, it's one of those. Right, it literally just balances. It doesn't use the top link at all. It just kind of balances in place. I think it should be higher than that. I can lower that down quite easily like that. Lift it up. But I think if it goes on the back, it would lift slightly higher. And though you see those 2 little bits sticking up at the front, they would rest against the underside of the arm. And that would lever it up ever so slightly. Although, I wouldn't be entirely happy with that. It doesn't move on here. Right? It doesn't move around on here. You know what? I don't particularly like that design. I've just spent money on that, and even selling it back, I'm not going to be able to get all of my money back, which is not brilliant. But I'm just not happy with that design. I know how it works. If we put that onto the back, it should have those lugs on the side. Right there. Right, you have a look now. Those lugs are touching the underside of the bars, so that kind of stops it from swinging. But if you move ever so slightly, it will still swing a little bit. Now, it's kept in tight to the wheels, which is good, and for a loader tractor, that can often be quite a good thing because of the fact that it stops it. You know, it helps to protect the wheels. It doesn't stick out very far behind, so it is kind of useful, but at the same time... Wait, why aren't you lowering down? Okay, that was not lowering down off the back at all. I don't know why it's not, but it's not, so we'll dump that one there. I don't like the design, though, because a solid movement, and that swings forward a little bit, and then comes back, and it's putting jarring impact pressure onto the arms, which is not very good. Right, so we get $799 back. That's not bad, actually. We've only lost like $30 on that overall, so I'd say that would be acceptable. What did we lose overall? We bought the middle one, didn't we? 800 and... Oh, no, we lost a bit more than that. We lost $91. That's not too bad. That's an acceptable price. It's not brilliant. I don't want to be wasting too many $91. So we'll go for the 1100. I'll go for the what I was originally going to go for. I'll go with that one right there. That's $1,000 right there for a large chunk of old iron. And that one can go onto the front of our tractor. And this one is held in place. It's not going to swing around or have anything like that. So yes, I'm familiar with the type of rear weight that one is and what it's meant to do. I just don't particularly like them because of the potential damage that it can do to the hydraulic arms on the back of the tractor. You could argue that if you're dancing your tractor around so much that you're going to be doing damage to it with that thing on there, perhaps you ought to slow down a bit with your tractor, but I would then, counter-argue that argument of yours with the fact that a little tractor like this one with a loader on it, you're going to be dancing your tractor around a bit, right? Best will in the world, it's still going to happen. You are still going to be dancing your tractor around. That's just a fact. It's unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do anything different. Right, so if I go there, toggled it on, toggled it off again, you don't get to see the controls changing anywhere near as much as you want to, and you don't get to see the auto-load position, being able to move that or anything. I don't need to. I don't want to. At some point, it will make our lives a lot easier if we can afford to buy a lorry to go with. Well, truck, I suppose. We're in the States, so we'd be trucking. So we may consider buying ourselves a Lizard Warrior or a Lizard Hulk over here. Possibly a Road Runner, although I think that's more for road work. Maybe something like that. I think that is the sort of thing you'd use for field work, because it's not got a sleeper on it at all. So this would be more a home vehicle, whereas that there, you gotta, wow. That's not a sleeper cab, that's a living room. It's got a fridge inside it. Look at that thing. You've actually, you got a fridge and you got a whole living space in there. You don't get that in trucks in the UK. You get a raised bed just behind the seats, right? Because we don't have room for all of this. Ours are a lot more compact. Seriously, a lot more compact than this. There's an entire house on wheels there, right behind the truck itself. Okay, that's a road vehicle. So we'd consider getting that one there. It's 550 horsepower. That's not a bad vehicle to go with, really. Back from there, what about you over here? Neither of them have different wheel configurations. You don't have like an off-road wheel configuration, but those two definitely seem more in line with lorries that you would, or trucks, I should say, that you would use around the farm into the fields when you can get them in the fields and stuff like that. Whereas the last one, the Road Runner, with the actual house in behind the steering wheel, a full-grown house with a cooker and a fridge and everything else by the look of it, that's really more of a road vehicle, isn't it? But I suppose this makes sense, because the island that I live on here in the UK is but 890 miles, the longest point that you can drive, from Land's End to John O'Groats. That is the most northeasterly point right down to the most southwesterly point. Nobody drives that distance, right? Nobody. You don't drive that distance as part of work. You might drive 500 miles and then 500 miles back again. Some people do stay away for several nights at a time. I know a few drivers that will go away on a Monday and come back on a Friday, so they stay away for 4 nights. But most drivers will stay away for maybe a night and then they're home again. I know a lot of drivers that will stop home in the middle of the week and then they're off again. Whereas over in the US, it takes you a week, like US or Canada, Australia, it takes you a week to get from one side of your country to the other. You do that in a day in this country. So, it's altogether different. Mainland Europe, I have no idea. I've absolutely no clue if people over in mainland Europe have these houses on wheels, or if they still use a vehicle a bit more like the one that I'm used to seeing. I've also not really seen many modern vehicles. You know what? This is rather noisy, so I'm just going to back away from it a little bit, because I'm having to shout a bit to be heard over the top of it. I like, I like the idea that the tractor does have to pull to get up the hills, but at the same time, it is excessively noisy. Ooh. It didn't like going up over that bump there, though, did it? Struggled with that a bit. Sort of lifted the tractor round. Now, what we can do, if we were to go and, eventually buy a Ponzi Scorpion, we could cut a big pile of branches into 6-meter lengths, and we could cut a big pile of branches into 8-meter lengths. And then you load the 6-meter lengths at the front half of this trailer, and you load the 8-meter lengths at the back half of the trailer, and they stick out over the back a bit. and you can sell one trailer load of logs for an absolute fortune. You could do everything at 6 meter lengths if you want to, and you still make a really good pile of money. But I can't remember if the 6 meters, if you get penalized for actually cutting it at 6 meters, or if it's less than 6 meters. I'm not quite sure on that. Petro Gracemark did run some extensive tests on it, but I can't remember if 6 meters cost you value on it. You can do it with 7 meters on this trailer, but you've got to load it on dead level ground, and it still doesn't quite load properly. You do have some issues with it not quite loading properly. So you could just do everything at 7 meters. 6 meters, you can definitely do everything at 6 meters. You won't have much overhang. The reason I would do 8 meters for some and 6 for some is you load 6 at the front, you leave a little bit of a gap of half a meter, and then you load the 8 meters at the back, and you've got probably the maximum value that you can get onto a trailer with this particular trailer, and then get it all to the sawmill, and it's one trip then. So it's, you know, you're going to make an absolute fortune out of that. We're not going to worry about any of that, because until we actually get a lorry on the front of it, a truck I should say, we're not going to be doing it, because you can't see where the load point is when you're trying to adjust it if you've only got the tractor and the dolly. It just doesn't work. So we'll keep that in mind, and we won't worry about alternative lengths. Besides which, we'd need to buy a Ponzi Scorpion to do that, and at $350,000, it's a little bit further down the list of essentials. When I say further down the list of essentials, I mean it's so far down the list of essentials that we may not even get it in this series. It may be something that we work towards in our next series on a new map. Because even though this is like a long-term type series, and it's supposed to take a long time, I know a lot of you are not going to want me to stay here forever, are you? You are going to want me to move. Now, if I fell that tree that way, I'm not going to be able to trim it properly. So I need to make sure that this one falls that way, over there, so that I can actually trim all the branches off. At least that's the plan. If I slice that one, there we go. That's much better. That's exactly where I wanted it to go. And we'll cut down a couple more of these as well. These are probably the ones that aren't going to fall. Oh, no, that one did fall over. They fall on top of the others. That's absolutely fine. I don't mind that. And this one here as well. Are you going to fall, or are you going to stay? No, he's going to fall. Okay, well, we've had a couple of them fall over. This is quite novel for us, really. We're not used to... We're not at all used to them falling over. They don't normally do any fallings over. They normally sort of stay where they are, and this is it makes life difficult for us. Right, right, that's not cutting how it should. There, and right, I'll cut the end off like that, and then I'm going to come back this one like this in order to cut everything off. Doesn't seem to want to cut properly. I think that's most of that bit cut, so I'll go from here and we'll run along. Oh, I'm going backwards. It doesn't always work when you go backwards. Nope, that's worked all right there for a minute. And we'll go up to here as well, and up through there. Right, keep going, keep going. As he does it there, and then I got one more bit over here, and hopefully that will be all of these bits. I can then cut it up into a few branches. We've got, remember, we've got over 100 horsepower on our engine right here, so I'm not too concerned about the tractor being able to pull it. We'd better load everything up. I did say that I would do a bit of loading with the front loader in this trailer. Not going to do that today. I'm just going to get straight on with getting a few branches at least up to the sawmill, and we'll have a look at testing out the loader on the tractor another time. Now that I think we'll go to there and do one slice like that, and then we'll go up here and I'll do another slice right there. That one I cut in half, and then this one here I'm going to cut this one in half like that, I think. There. Okay, so there's our first bit. And now what we want to do, oh, I can't cut that tree. I was just thinking that nice big tree over there, that'd be beautiful, but that's not one that we can have. This is our outside limit over here. So we'll go and cut down this tree right here and get that one felling in the right direction. That's got to go in that way. And then we can move up the hill a little bit. Where else are we going to go? We've got a series of small trees here. And we take that one there. Chop you down a minute. And then there's one just above it that I'm going to cut down. So take that one as... no, I'm going to leave that one. But I am going to take this one. Right here. Chop you through. And then the one just to our left as well. Let me just tidy these up a second. And we've got to decide how much bigger we're going to make our field at the moment. Because we're getting pretty close to how big we want this field to be, I think. We're not going to need it very much bigger than what it is right now. Now, that one there is actually a reasonable size, so I think we want to cut that into 3 pieces. So I'll cut one there, and then I'll come all the way down here. Wow, that's actually bigger than I thought it would be. I'll chop that one there, and hopefully that's not going to be too long. No, that'll be alright. Then I will take this one here. This one's a bit smaller. Chop you all the way down through there. I possibly should have cut that last one into 4 pieces. This one's definitely only 2. I definitely only need to cut that one in half. Go right there and cut that one. Now, was there another one? Yes, there was. There was one. No, there wasn't. Yes, there was. I knew there was another one. Take you right there and slice that all the way up through. Right, this one's a bit longer as well. Might have to cut this into 4 pieces, because that seems a little bit too long for 3, doesn't it? I don't know. Not really sure. Let's give it a good long length on that top bit there, and then we'll see. We've got we'll try 3. We'll see what that's like. Cut you through there. So there's 3 pieces right there. That tree there I want to take out, and then we've got, well, there's a little clump there we can take out. I'm getting a little bit of lag today. I don't know if that's my computer being a bit laggy today, or if it's the actual game. It's a possibility, actually, that it's my computer, because my hard drive's getting full again. I'm going to have to move some of my videos. I do try, well, what I've been doing is I sort of keep a backup copy of all of my, well, I was keeping a backup copy of all of my videos, but I've run out of spare hard drives, so I'm now having to overwrite a lot of the old ones. This is just in case something went horribly wrong with the channel for whatever reason, and videos got deleted. So I thought, well, I'll keep a backup of all of my videos. But I'm kind of running out of hard drive space to do that. I tried an online storage facility, and that was just not a good idea at all. I've got 2,600 videos on YouTube. I've probably got 1,400 of those backed up. So I got 1,400 videos being stored, right? That's a lot of videos. That's a lot of gigabytes. I've probably got 3. Well, no, more than that. I think I've got like 4, maybe 5 terabytes of videos stored. At the moment, though, I don't have any more space for more than that. But I'm hoping to get more. Eventually, I'd like to have enough terabyte space that I don't have to keep deleting videos. But some of the very old ones no longer have any backups. And I'm slowly going through, and I mean, to be honest, a lot of the old videos, like my, I know that there are the odd very occasionally someone will go through and they'll watch some of the old Minecraft videos that I did right back when I was first starting. I kind of used those. They were my practice runs. They weren't they weren't actually really intended as the big thing for the channel. They were just my practice runs. Also, now I don't know what side it's auto-loading on at the moment. I've got no clue. I'm going to see if... Let's try and back that one up this way a little bit. And see if we can load those small logs there. Keep around like that. There. This is terrible reversing, this is. Right, yeah. Like that. That's close enough. So, auto load on. But yeah, so like the Minecraft videos, there's no backups for them anymore. If they get deleted, if YouTube decides it doesn't like them anymore, that's it for the Minecraft videos. They'll be gone. They will never return. Well, I pressed B for on. It doesn't seem to have liked it. So I'll turn that one off, and I will toggle side. There. It doesn't tell me what side it's on. And then, there. Right, okay. So I now know it's on the right-hand side. Forward a bit. I'm going to put those on there. So I've got this one's loading on the right-hand side. I'm going to keep it loading on the right-hand side. I'll bring that one up round. There, and now we want to work into this slowly. You don't want to rush this, just sort of little bit by little bit. It does depend where the logs go as they get loaded. There. Like that. And then I'll bring that one round. Ooh. Okay, see, some of these are quite long, but I don't think they're too long. They don't seem to be too long for it. They seem to be doing alright, actually. Now, bring you over. It should... Yeah, it's got both of those. Right, ideal. Actually, I was just thinking I would turn around and go back up again, but I don't need to. I can just go this way in a circle and then go along the top. And we get some more of these. Put them all in one go. Our most time-consuming task now is going to be cutting the trees up. Right, no longer will our most time-consuming task be taking the trees to the sawmill. Now it's all going to be... Right, I got one bit up. I'm going to need to go up a bit higher and get that one. There, like that. And then I can back down. Like that. Over we go. And that'll be most of them then. I think we can get all of these trees on. There may have been more elsewhere. We'll worry about them another time. Get a couple of these on. And this will easily allow us the money to get the stump grinder. So we've got some stump grinding that we can do for something a little bit different sometime soon. We may even be able to use our little tractor to run the stump grinder, which would be pretty good. And back round here. I like that it's got a nice wide area for the collection point for this trailer, at least. That is a good thing. Oh, there's the other bit. There's only one more branch to go and collect anyway. I got one bit there. Right. That's that bit. I got one branch over there. I'm going to go and get that. We're going for a trailer full right here. Look at this bad boy here. This is fantastic. I don't need to worry about emptying it. Just bring that one over. That one goes onto there. Okay, so I'm going to press B to stop loading it. We're loading, unloading on the right-hand side. I'm not going to need to worry about unloading it. I just want to put those straps onto there. And there is our first load like that. We've got a front loader. We don't actually have it on the tractor at the moment. If you would prefer me to have the front loader with the tractor for when we're doing our loading, just say so in the comments section, because I like the stipulation that we must have the means to be able to load this trailer, even if we don't actually physically do it ourselves. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, 30 times speed, isn't it? It's supposed to be on 30 times speed. I'll leave this on 30 times speed. 60 times you all thought was too much, but I should have had that on 30 times speed that whole time. Completely forgot about that. My bad. In order to make up for that, what I will do is I will speed that up to 60 times for the rest of this. And, actually, I'll tell you what. I will do it 120 times just for a little bit. We'll fast forward ourselves about an hour, because we were a little while messing around with loading that up. So we'll fast forward ourselves and to about 5. That was that was completely my fault. I should have been paying more attention. We get that to there, to 5:30, like that, and then we'll go back down to... Some of you did say that you didn't think that I should be using the fast forward time whilst travelling and unloading. So put that, get in the comment section today. It's time to be talking about this autoloader. We've got the autoloader. I know not everybody's happy with it, but give me any, like, stipulations, rules you think that I should be using with it. Some of you did say that you didn't think I should be using the autoloads at all. And you didn't particularly like that idea. Others of you said that... Hang on, I want to put that right there, because I think that looks pretty cool. Right there. Right. Others of you did say that the 30 times speed, the timescale speed, should only be instigated when I'm loading, but not when I'm traveling or unloading, because that bit wouldn't be... You wouldn't have that, just whilst we're loading. So I want all your views and opinions on how you think the autoloader should be done exactly, and we'll sort of try and set out something a bit more solid with that. Oh, yes! Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. $17,000 from a single load. That is a thing of beauty right there. That is absolutely wonderful. So in our next episode, we now have the means to go and get the stump grinder. We can also, if you choose to have the cheaper cell option, we'll be able to get that one bought and installed as well. If you choose to have the more expensive one, it's not going to take us a huge amount of time to go and get it, let's be honest. We'll have to wait and see on that one. My weekly question for this week is, would you like me to spend $10,000 on a standard sell point, which will accept everything? Or would you prefer that I spent $100,000 on an upgraded sell point that will give us a better price? The prices will be 150% rather than the normal 100% on hardcore economy mode. A lot of people saying they thought that I should be doing something like this, which is why I'm now giving it as an option. So we'll 10,000 for standard one, or 100,000 for the upgraded one, which would represent the merchant waiting and getting us the best possible price that he can find for us, which is sort of fairly realistic. You know, a merchant is going to be looking for the best possible prices for his customer. It's in his best interests to keep the customer happy, and it makes everybody a pile of money. So it's your votes, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. I'm getting a little bit of lag over here. I don't know if it's just this area of the map, or if it's because, like I said, because of my computer. I'm starting to think it might be just a little area of the map right here that's getting a bit laggy. Could be more trees here than there are on some of it. Not quite sure. We'll have to wait and see. See if it keeps doing it after we've cut down a load more trees. But that is all I've got time for today. So if you've enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. I'll just trim this tree down here for you. You know, it only seems to be doing it while I'm trimming branches off of the trees. As soon as I put the chainsaw away, I don't get that little bit of lag coming along. Right, chainsaw away, and it's instant. No. No, right here. I don't know. I don't quite know what's doing it. Maybe once we've gotten rid of a whole load of the tree stumps, it will ease things up a bit as well. That may also have an impact. I'm not going... Actually, yeah, I could cut these trees up a bit. So, yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.